My name is F.Y. Mostly. I am a professional banker of over 16 years experience. I've handled clients in various industries, vertical and sectors in Nigeria, including manufacturing, logistics, automobile, and the rest. And when I started off my career, I would say that I had more of trade knowledge around trade imports because of the type of clients that I handled. But I want to say that the defining moment in my career was when I underwent Security Intex Trade Academy training. The first one was in my standing last year space. So fast forward in 2020 when the COVID came, again that thought came to me, and this time I said no, I'll take the bull by the horn. I'm not going to wait for my company to train me. So I heard about, I reached out to Security Intex, and they're always throwing things at your face, supporting you, not necessarily for you to come and spend your money, but just educate us. So I ran through the different courses that they had, and I just knew that I had to, go for this one. This is the Executive Diploma in Export Business Management. And I can tell you, as at 2020, when we were at the lockdown, I underwent this 3 months training. I can tell you, this has been a game changer for me in my career. I didn't know that non-oil export would become a focus the way it was, but all I wanted to do was to provide, to be able to provide advice to my clients, understand exports. I know the trade is the processing side from the bank's perspective, but I didn't really understand the export environment and how it affects clients. What does an exporter? What are the pain points? So this course helps me, to have good understanding of the export environment in Nigeria, what to be looking for, what are the risks. It's an all-encompassing program. And at that point, when I finished this program, it opened a huge opportunity for me in my workplace. And I can tell you that I was able to make a high impact and providing solutions for exports, and which allowed my company to grow in leaps and bounds in terms of non-oil exports in Nigeria. We are still learning, and I believe that there are more courses for me to take from Security Intex, and I can recommend this program to anyone and everyone. Even if you are not a banker, you're just a regular trade person, there are other opportunities coming up for trade within Africa, outside Africa, especially with the geopolitical tension. I think we have to equip ourselves with the right knowledge, right skills, so that we'll be able to, take advantage of the opportunities that not just for Nigeria, but for Africa. Thank you very much. Security Intex, you're the best. Thank you.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn in dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? Do you desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order at 33% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to serve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? Do you desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making the product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To order, call 080 912 44449.
So, to the bank or to us in banking, we have seen a way where we can not only retain and sustain our existing exporters, but we are going to attract, not even attract more from the prospective exporters. We have an opportunity for us to even create exporters within our own community, just like what I was telling you, what is happening in my own community. You need to see the kind of passion and interest shown from my community in terms of export. Everybody now wants to diversify. And then, as I said, part of our own advisory is that, you see, we are running, as I said from the beginning, most of our businesses are highly saturated locally, but are in high demand internationally. But what we need to do, or the lack of this basic knowledge in export, limits our potentials to go or to grow beyond our limit or to our full capacity as exporters. So with this, Bamili, I must register my appreciation. It's the time well spent, that 3 months. I hope I was even thinking that it would extend for another 2 months so that we can learn more. Everything about the program is so fantastic. It's so appreciated and impacting, not only to me as a city, even to my community. My community has felt the impact of this show. My bank also is, in fact, is gaining higher from this training because I know the number of customers that are highly impressed, that always look forward to. Even this morning, I received nothing less than 3 calls from exporters on so many issues or challenges that they have that we're able to address them.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us again today. We're on to another edition of exploring the export potential of Nigerian state. We are shifting gear today and we are landing in a small state in the southeast called Imo State. Imo State is the southeast, and we'll be discussing just the usual thing we've been discussing about different states. And like I said in the previous edition, this election season in Nigeria, and as many as are interested in knowing exactly what you should be asking your governor when the campaign starts, please share this video with them. This video is on our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade. If you visit Voice of African Trade, you can see the previous edition. On this program, we've moved from, we're on number 16 today. We have done Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Ekiti State, Enugu State, Gombe last week, and this week, Imo State. Imo State. For those also that are just coming into this business, or you have even been in the business, but you want to avoid the pitfall of those that have gone ahead of you, you know, some of the challenges people face is the fact that even when there are some area of incompetence, it might not become obvious now. It might be when an issue come up in future, you realize that, oh, you could have done this, just like COVID. Those that don't have force majeure clause in their contract will now appreciate the importance of force majeure when COVID struck. So there are some things that we might not have experienced, but these are possibilities that we need to know. So I was talking to someone today about the fact that those that need this book are not even those that are new alone, even those that are already in the business. Because I've been monitoring the export data in Nigeria for like since 2006, actually. So pretty much more than 15 years. And I realized that a number of businesses that were exporting in the late 2000, early part of last decade, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, a number of them are not in the business today. It's only the big name you see find in the business. And I was trying to say, why is this? This is exactly what the book Built to Go Global has been able to solve, providing answer to those critical questions. Built to Go Global, so that you'll be able to discover those areas of lapses and be able to fix them before they create problem for the business. If you also want to get this link every week, you need to join our Telegram channel. If you are not on the Telegram, you can see it if you search for African Export Business Platform of Telegram. African Export Business Platform of Telegram. If you search for it on Telegram, you will see the link to this program every week. You will see the link to this program every week. Remember, the program holds every Thursday by 5 p.m. All right. So we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll start discussing Imo State.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? Do you desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 53% discount, call 080-912-44449.
All right. As usual, every week, we have 7 areas of discussion. The preamble, basically talking about why Imo State must export, not just the business people in Imo, why Imo State government itself must export. The peculiarities in terms of location, creation, another endowment of the state. Then the profile, that basically look at the income and debt profile of the state. Then the potential, and then we look at what are the items that can be imported, what are the items that this state produce that can be exported. Then purchasers, who are the buyers? Who are the buyers for those products, and what volume do they buy? Proposal, a proposal to Imo State on how to empower SME. And lastly, profit, how Imo State can directly generate income from exporting this product. Imo. Why should Imo State export? To avoid over-dependence on federal government, over-dependence on federal allocation. And I must say that a lot of Nigerian states depend a lot on federal allocation, and this has made them to be very lackadaisical in generating their own income, and this is making a number of the states to be declared as being non-viable. because what they make themselves without federal government cannot even pay their salary, talk less of carrying out any capital expenditure. It can't even meet up with their recurrent expenditure. It cannot even meet up with their recurrent expenditure. It has to boost the economy of the state or the GDP of the state. Export create opportunity for SME in the state to grow. Export help to decrease dependence on domestic market and look beyond domestic market so that when there is recession or there is slow sales, you have other market to sell. It also helps the state to earn export proceeds and grow revenue of the state. This is one I'm very much interested in, grow revenue of the state. It makes farming become more lucrative because of demand for some of these products around the world. It can help the state to gain global market share and recognition because of the volume of what it's exporting from that state alone. It can make the state become home of creativity and innovation because of the competition that abroad that will make them to begin also to improve on their product. Because of the fact that they're adding value, it can be an industrialization catalyst. It can be an industrialization catalyst. It helps in job creation. It helps the state to know its value, where it has competitive advantage in terms of export. The state can become a leader for others to follow. It can make Imo State to be independent of federal government and create numerous incentives for exporters in Imo State. It helps Imo State to maximize the opportunities created, the opportunities of their indigenous abroad. Nigerians abroad are huge assets. Unfortunately, we are not maximizing that asset to grow trade. We are only looking at them to send us money in terms of remittances. We are not looking at them on how they can contribute to trade, and they are great assets. Indians have mastered that. Pakistan, Lebanese, they've mastered that. But Africa have not mastered how we can leverage on the presence of our national abroad to grow trade. Poverty eradication in the state is possible through export. It helps the state to quit the league of wasting, state depending on wasting assets like oil. It helps the state to revive the economy, slow down rural urban migration. It's a transfer opportunity for the state. It can help the state to utilize its idle capacity. That's for the businesses in the state. Also, it helps the state to boost, viability of the state is boosted. Viability of the state is boosted because the state now can generate income from export and not rely only on federal government. It's an opportunity to create wealth for citizens of the state. That the state to extract its potential, export potential, gain for more important competition, and also zero in on area of strength. So what do you see in Imo State today? What do you see in Imo State? Kidnapping, killings, unemployment, poverty, frustration. These are valid concerns and issues we have in this state, no doubt. However, when the foreigners come into Nigeria to take all our stuff to export, they face these challenges, but they are looking for opportunities in farming, opportunities in mining, and opportunities in our population. They are not looking at these challenges, even though they are there, because they have an objective to source for raw materials for their factory. So in spite of the delay, in spite of the challenges, that will not stop the foreigners from leveraging on the opportunities in Nigeria. And I think we should also follow suit as Nigerians. which is why we are going state by state. So that every state can say, okay, what, someone contacted recently was asking about southwestern states. What are the opportunities in the southwestern state? We've done one of southwestern state, Ekiti. We are yet to do Ogun State, Oyo State, Osun State, and of course, Ondo State and Lagos State. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we begin to talk more about this state.
Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job without performance? You desire a change for the better in your career. Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of your transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today.
Yeah, peculiarities. 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 Imo State was created in 1976 out of the old Eastern State by General Murtala Muhammad. Abia was carved out of Imo State in 1991. It has Owerri as its capital and the largest city. Other major towns include Okigwe, Oguta, Olu, Mbise, Mbano, Orodo, Mbigi. I hope I'm pronouncing it very well. Situated in southeastern Nigeria, Imo cover area 5,530 square kilometers. Imo State share boundaries with Enugu and Ebonyi State in the north, Anambra State in the west, Rivers State in the south and in the north, and Rivers State also in the south, Cross River and Cross River in the east, and Imo River in the east. The inhabitants of Imo State are Igbo, and the official language of the state is Igbo alongside English. Imo State has a rich cultural heritage. This manifested in dressing, in music, in dance, in festival. Imo derived its name from the Imo River, which takes its course from Okigwe, Oka Upland. The main river in the state are Imo, Otamiri, Njaba. The major lake are in Oguta, Abadaba, Obowu local government. The main stream draining the state are Imo, Amiri, Jaba, Orasi River, all of which have few boat trails. With the exception of Imo River, which runs through the area underlain by Imo Shale, other rivers rise within the coastal plain sand. Generally, river valley constitutes major fissures, which are often marshy. The vegetation is tropical rainforest. Imo State indigenes are predominantly Christian, often of different denomination, but mostly Catholic. Imo, nicknamed the heartland of the eastern Nigeria, has the largest palm plantation complex in West Africa. Has the largest palm plantation complex in West Africa. Has the largest palm plantation complex in West Africa. You are going to see the volume of demand for palm oil from palm plantation, and let's compare that to the income of this state. See, this state have the largest palm plantation complex in Africa. So in West Africa, rather. But let's see the debt stock of this state. And let's see the opportunity available for palm oil export. Total land area, 5,288 kilometers. That's 27 local government. Population is about 5.76 million. Vegetation is tropical savanna and monsoon. Major crop, palm oil, yam, cassava, cocoyam, maize, solid mineral, rock salt, phosphate, lignite, and clay. There are opportunities in agribusiness, healthcare, tourism, energy mining, light manufacturing, and the like. The IGR of this state in 2019 is $16.1 billion naira. In budget in 2020 is 197.7 billion. Can you see the income of the state? 16. Can you see the budget? Almost 200 billion. The state cannot meet up. This state cannot meet up with all its expenses. This state have advantage as outland of the eastern region. It has 163 oil wells across 12 locations. High deposit of natural resources, natural gas, limestone. This state has been an opportunity in palm oil, in energy, in limestone, in agro-processing and allied products. Unemployment level in this state is 1.1 million people. Have you wondered why there is so much insecurity in our country? Unemployment rate in this state is 1.1 million. 1.1. 1.1. 1.1. And the working age population is about 3.7. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we go deeper into the profile of this state.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn in dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You deserve to know what you need to do to get ready to go global. Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. A scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order at 53% discount, call 080-912-44449.
Yeah, profile. We look at the IGR of this state. We look at their federal allocation. We look at the growth of debt of this state. The growth of debt of this state. Let's look at the IGR. Internal revenue for the last 5 years. For Imo State, as our 2020 stood at 17 billion. Federal allocation, 65 billion. So you can imagine total income now being about 82 billion. Remember, the budget is over 190 billion. Over 190 billion. Look at the debt of this state. 150 billion domestic debt, $96 million foreign debt. Total debt, 186 billion. 186 billion total debt. of this state. 186. That is a lot. That is a lot. Why will a state like this be borrowing so much? Leadership, leadership, leadership. Leadership, leadership, leadership. The leader did not come in to generate income. They are in to share the money. So when there is not enough to share, they will borrow to share. Interesting. So let's compare the IGR. This state is among the states in Nigeria that cannot survive without federal government. This state, the total earning in 2020 is IGR is just about 20% of its total earning in 2020. So that means this state with a low capital expenditure level of about 28.5% cannot even fund its operating expenses, talk less of capital expenditure. Hence the borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing that we see. The borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. Because the state had to depend on the federal government. The state had to depend on the federal government for federal allocation. But the goal of this session is to educate ourselves on the opportunity available in every state in Nigeria and to make information available to those people who will become leader of this state in the coming weeks or months. So they won't come and say, oh, I can't perform because there's no money. That's not true. That's a lame excuse now. That's a lame excuse. We shouldn't be taking this from these guys again. That's a lame excuse. How can you be saying you can't perform, you are not able to meet up with your obligation or your promises because there's no money? There is money. You are looking for readiness money, the one they will just credit for Abuja and spend. You know, that's why anybody can lead, anybody can be a state governor in Nigeria. Because what does it take to collect money, award contract, commission the contract, and then what's the name? Commission the contract and flag of the contract and commission it. The money, you didn't make the money now. The money was given to you. So you really have not done anything. So when the money is not now enough, which will not stop their security vote and their own money, they then complain to us the reason why they have failed in their responsibility. Let's see what budget have to say about Imo State. According to budget, Imo in March 20th in 2021 fiscal performance ranking. This was the worst of all the southeastern states. This is the worst. Imo State is the worst performing in terms of fiscal performance in all the southeastern states. Imo State depends on federal government through statutory transfer for about 79% of its total recurrent revenue, while 20.76 was realized for IGR. Imo recorded a total sum of 62.5 as gross fact in 2020. This was a drop from 2019. Of course, COVID-19 contributed to that. The state IGR saw a modest growth of 6.13 from 16.09 billion in 2019 to 17 in 2020. However, this growth is still too small to reduce the state high dependence on statutory handout from federal account or federation account. Imo State will be treading on a thin ice if it does not significantly revamp its internal revenue generation blueprint to reverse this trend. And governors are going to kill themselves, aspirants are going to kill themselves to be able to win, but not many of them, if any, have a plan to generate income. The component of its IGR has varying degree of growth. Pay grew slightly by 3.3. Road tax declined by 41.7. The one from MDAs increased by 171%. Imo State had one of the smallest IGR per capita, 2,779, compared to an average Nigerian average per capita for different states per citizen rather of 4,616. And the best IGR per capita performance in Nigeria is Lagos State, 29,000 naira. As seen in the previous year, Imo is in 2020 prioritized investment in operating expense, which got 57 billion. Nigerian governors like operating expense. That is where they get what they want. The balance of 2.11 billion was spent on loan repayment as part of the financing activity. Capital infrastructure was 28 billion. Overall, Imo State investment in capital expenditure per capita is 4,000. And this is very low compared to the country average of 8,000 plus. On the total capital expenditure spectrum of the state spending, the economic sector received a total of 16.49 billion, up by 49.3%. Unfortunately, the social sector, comprising of health, education, and welfare, experienced a significant decline because of the raging pandemic. Now, what can Imo State export? What are the potential opportunities in Imo State? We do that when we come back from the break.
Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professional from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today. Are you an...
All right. All right. So what are the potential of this state? What are the potential of this state? The state is blessed with abundant natural resources. These include crude oil, lead, zinc, white clay, fine sand, limestone, natural gas in commercial quantity. The state also produces agricultural produce such as palm produce, cocoa, rubber. The main staple crop are yam, cassava, cocoyam, and maize. Learned professional entrepreneurs and seasoned artists also abound in this state. Work of art produced in the state include carved dolls, walking stick of different designs, sculptures, flutes, wood mortar, pestle, dung, and famous talking drum. Metalwork and various types of fabrication are locally produced. What is this state doing? What is this state doing on exporting all these handcraft? Some art and culture center include Mbari Culture Center in Owerri, Eke Nguru in Abot Mbise, and Ngwekala Shrine in Umunoha. Industry include person industry, Owerri, which produces galvanized iron sheet, African Enterprise, Our Mama, a pharmaceutical company, Imo Concord Hotel, Owerri. Industry has been partially privatized, including card package industry in Olu, resin paint limited, extrusion industry in EEC. Industries in private sector include South Spare Part, Allied Accessory in Okigwe, which make motor spare parts, Home Pharmaceuticals, which produce drugs, Maggi Industry, which makes steel, sponge, bread, polythene, and paper. What is the state doing on exporting all these manufactured goods? Just imagine what this state is producing. Economic tree like Iroko, Mahogany, Obeche, Tamil, bamboo, rubber palm, and oil palm are in abundance in Imo State. Population is mainly engaged in agriculture and produce yam, taro, corn, cassava. They are stable crop, and oil palm is the main cash crop. Oil palm is the main cash crop. Oil palm is the main cash crop. So let's go on to see who are the buyers and what is the volume that they buy. Who are the buyers of the corn produced in this state, of the cocoa beans produced in this state, of the oil palm produced in this state, of the rubber produced in this state, and of the rice produced in this state. Let's check it out. Look at the market size for corn in the world, $36.3 billion. Who are the major importers of corn? Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Spain, Germany, Mexico, Egypt, Morocco, Colombia, Peru. Let's zero in on Africa. Africa is importing about 10% of the corn being imported in the world. Who is the major buyer? 3 of them: Egypt, Algeria, and Morocco, and to some extent, South Africa and Tunisia. This is a product that this state can export to generate income directly to the coffers of the state government. Then we have cocoa beans with a market of $9.5 billion. You know, cocoa, I think, is overrated. Maybe because cocoa made a lot of money for us, for Nigeria in the 60s, 70s. But cocoa is overrated in terms of, because most of people are thinking of export, the only thing they think about is cocoa. Even corn market is bigger than cocoa market. Is that not interesting? The market demand for corn in the world is bigger, far, far bigger, times 4 of cocoa. Market size for corn is times 4 of cocoa. Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, Malaysia, United States are all major importers of cocoa beans. In Africa, very few, because Africa produce already. Ghana, Tunisia, Egypt import, but very, very few. Very, very few. The next one, which I think this state should leverage on based on the natural endowment, is palm oil. Palm oil. Palm oil. Which country import palm oil? 29.3 billion is being imported for palm oil. From where? From India, Pakistan, 29.3 billion, China, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Russia, Germany, United States, Mexico, Egypt, Kenya, $29.3 billion. $29.3 billion. That is the volume of import of palm oil. Do you know $500 million? The budget of Imo State is about 200 billion. Let me check the budget as of this year. The budget of Imo State as of this year is actually 381 billion. What? Oh my God. Why do the governor do like this? The governors, the budget this year by Hope Uzodinma is 381. How much are they making? Sometimes I feel that the budget of the state are just being done for just a ceremony for fashion. How can a state generating less than 100 billion want to spend about 400 billion? I can't understand that. Is that not a plan to put the state in huge debt? I can't understand that, sincerely. But what I was even trying to say is that if the state just take up just $1 billion out of this, if you use CBN rate, they will still Even that 400 billion budget, they will cover it. If the only part they take is just 1 billion, just 1 billion out of the $29 billion market. Out of the $29 billion market. And this is very important. Now, 4.28 billion is demanded in Africa. 4.28 billion is demanded in Africa alone. Is that not interesting? In Africa alone. That's interesting. So that means you don't even need to go far to look for this 1 billion market. You have it right here in Africa. 4.28 billion from Egypt to Tanzania to Ghana to Kenya to South Africa to Angola to Benin Republic. Let's move on to the next product, rubber. Rubber. The market size of rubber is $13.6 billion. From China to Japan to India to Malaysia to South Korea to United States to Germany to Spain. These are the markets. The demand, however, in Africa, the demand for rubber is very low. South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Eswatini, and the market is just about $162 million. Then rice. Rice is a big deal. 24.7. And a quarter of that is taken over by Africa alone. Iran, Philippines, Iraq, China, Saudi Arabia, United States, France, Germany. But in Africa, Benin Republic, of course, majority of that Benin is coming to Nigeria. Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, South Africa, Kenya, Egypt, Ghana, Togo, Angola, Guinea. So the question we should now ask is, how will the state make money by exporting? I will talk about that shortly. But before then, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at how the SME in the state Unfortunately, we import a lot of palm oil, like you said, Soji. Unfortunately, even though we have what it takes to export, but unfortunately, we are not looking at that.
My name is Victor, and I just finished the Certified Global Trade Professionals training. Very rewarding. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ogbomoso that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. If I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. The course prepared me in dealing with that customer's request, which is still ongoing. It's just the first step for me. I intend to take additional courses in trade, also with the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's an area where I've decided that I would like to specialize in. So yes, this is the foundation for me. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
So here's my proposal for Imo State. Let me do this proposal with, let's say, a product like either corn or I'm trying to check some other product the state produce. Rice or cassava. And the objective basically is that, look, when you look at from production of agri product to harvesting, to primary processing, to secondary processing, to marketing and sale and export, this is the value chain for a typical agro product. Value chain for a typical agro product. Now, you can see if SME remain alone in this place, you have inefficient value chain operator, low processing capacity and low output, few job creation, low quality and packaging, high cost of production, non-competitive product in the export market. That is what you see. That is what you see. That is what you get. So my recommendation for every state government in Nigeria is to look for a product that have huge potential in the state, where SME can produce the raw materials. SME can produce the raw materials, but there will be a large corporate organization that will process and package for SMEs. SME2 buy from SME1 the raw materials, take it to large corporate to process, plantain to plantain chips, cassava to cassava chips, palm fruit to palm oil, package and package ready for export. When we do this, we're going to create efficient value chain operators, high processing capacity and high output, good quality packaging, low cost of production and competitive products in the export market, increased job creation, decrease inequality, and of course, decrease insecurity. Why? Because we will have been able to create a lot of jobs by virtue of many SME that can be involved. The SME1 is so much, SME2 is so much, and they're able to, now they don't worry about power, they don't worry about NAFDAC, they don't worry about, they just give their product and they are charged per unit. So if they drop their product and they produce for them 500 bottles or 1,000 bottles of palm oil, they will charge them per bottle. The packaging, the labeling, the processing is done by large corporates, but it's done in the company name of SME2. So SME2 can focus on marketing, sales, logistics, and distribution in the export market. In order to export, support exporters in the state, to be able to enter Africa, Europe, and American market in a secure, sustainable way, the state can partner with representatives in export market, set up warehouses in export market, set up entities like distributor in the export market, partner with independent agent and in the export market, organize and sponsor manufacturers for exhibition in the export market. Profit. How can the state make money directly? So look at the model we have done for palm oil. So we assume the state will use 50% of its arable land, not all the land, just the arable land for cultivation, 50%. That would be 97 hectares, 1,000 hectares of land. At a yield per hectare of 18 metric tons, at a yield per hectare of 18 metric tons, and you can generate 1.762 million metric tons. If this is processed at 13% yield per metric tons of processed palm oil, palm kernel, palm fruit rather to palm oil, we can get 338,000 metric tons. Multiplied by 1,600 per metric ton, we can get $544 million. That's $500 million. Multiply that by exchange rate of CBN, you can get about $225 billion. If you remove the cost of farming, cost of processing, cost of export, you will see have about $210 billion. If you add that to the IDR, you have $237 billion or $27 billion. So the idea here basically is this. This state, at least is a 200 billion budget of 2020. It can fund it without stress. And if you scale up production, it might be able to fund the $400 billion, that 400 billion naira that the state want to do or want to spend in the year 2022. To do this, the state can partner with a private organization to form a special purpose vehicle SPV. The state can have 80% of the company, and that will also based on determining the sharing formula. State can fund this company to provide expertise, while the private organization that partner with the state provide expertise. The SPV form farmer into cooperative across the state, issue purchase order to them with a guarantee to buy, provide training and input for support for farmers, get the collection center where the products are collected, clean up and process the product to finished product, source for buyer abroad, export the goods, present document, get paid, pay the farmers, and share the profit. Pay the farmers and share the profit. The impact of this suggested model for state government goes beyond the generation of revenue via export. It has humongous impact on employment generation and increased economic activity in the state. This, in my opinion, is a more effective, efficient, and enduring model for diversifying the economy of any state in Nigeria. This model can also be replicated by federal government at federal level, especially for exportation of solid minerals. Before we close today, let's go on a short break.
My name is Victor, and I just finished the Certified Global Trade Professionals training. Very rewarding. I work in one of the commercial banks in Nigeria. Frankly, I had struggled with trade transactions, but there was no running away from it. The focus right now in our bank is exports. 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks to the end of the program, I got a call from an exporter in Ogbomoso that wants to do cassava chips, export cassava chips to Europe. If I hadn't taken this program, it would have been very difficult for me to onboard that customer and have a decent conversation with him about the transaction. The course prepared me in dealing with that customer's request, which is still ongoing. It's just the first step for me. I intend to take additional courses in trade, also with the African Continental Free Trade Area. It's an area where I've decided that I would like to specialize in. So yes, this is the foundation for me. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
All right, so next week, we're going to move on to my second state. My second state is Jigawa State. I serve in Jigawa. I have interesting stories to talk about Jigawa. So I'm very glad to share with you about my experience in Jigawa next week. Remember the book Built to Go Global? This book is for experienced exporters to be able to help them export in a sustainable manner, not just successful, having been able to export very well. How do you ensure in 10 years' time you are still exporting? That is why this book was written, Built to Go Global. If you want to get access to the video of this program, visit our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade, subscribe, like, share, and drop your comment. Remember to click on the bell so you will know when this video is uploaded, and you can get to see other videos, the first 16, 17 episodes that we've done already. You want to also have access to the link every week, visit our channel, Telegram channel, African Export Business Platform. African Export Business Platform.
Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn in dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? Do you desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Pivot to Go Global, a scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 53% discount, call 080-912-44449.
So, to the bank or to us in banking, we have seen a way where we can not only return and sustain our existing exporters, but we are going to attract, not even attracting more from the prospective exporters. We have an opportunity for us to even create exporters within our own community, just like what I was telling you, what is happening in my own community. You need to see the kind of passion and interest shown from my community in terms of export. Everybody now wants to have respect. And then, as I said, part of our own adversity is that, you see, we are running, as I said from the beginning, most of our businesses are highly saturated locally, but are in high demand internationally. But what we need to do, or the lack of this basic knowledge in export, limit our potentials to go or to grow beyond our limit or to our full capacity as exporters. So with this, Bamili, I was registered my application. It's the time well spent, that 3 months. I was even thinking that it was going to extend for another 2 months so that we can learn more. Everything about the program is so fantastic. It's so appreciated, and the impact, not only to me as a city, even to my community has felt the impact of this show. My bank also is, in fact, is gaining higher from this trading app, because I know the number of our customers that are highly impressed, that always look forward to. Even this morning, I received nothing less than 3 calls from exporters on so many issues or challenges that they have, that we're able to address them.
Are you an account officer, relationship manager, or marketer in a bank? Are you struggling to meet your income and deposit targets? Are you at the verge of losing your job for non-performance? You desire a change for the better in your career? Then register for the Certified Global Trade Management Professionals from the American Institute of Extended Studies to acquire skills needed to solve import-export trade customers' problems and consequently attract the deposit and income of the transaction to your bank. Registration is currently ongoing. Call this number to register today.
My name is F1 Kwadamosi. I am a professional banker of over 16 years experience. I've handled clients in various industry, vertical, and sectors in Nigeria, including manufacturing, logistics, automobile, and the rest. And when I started off my career, I would say that I had more trade knowledge around trade import because of the type of clients that I handled. But I want to say that the defining moment in my career was when I underwent Treaty Intex Trade Academy training. The first one was in my standing large-scale space. So fast forward in 2020 when the COVID came, again, that thought came to me. And this time I said, no, I'll take the move by the horn. I'm not going to wait for my company to train me. So I heard about, I reached out to Treaty Intex, and they're always throwing things at your face, supporting you, not necessarily for you to come and spend your money, but just educate us. So I ran through the different courses that they had, and I just knew that I had to, go for this one. This is the Executive Diploma in Export Business Management. And I can tell you, as at 2020, when we were at the lockdown, I underwent this 3 months training. I can tell you, this has been a game changer for me in my career. I didn't know that non-oil export would become a focus the way it was, but all I wanted to do was to provide, to be able to provide advice to my clients understand exports. I know the trade is the processing side from the bank's perspective, but I didn't really understand the export environment and how it affects clients. What does an exporter? What are the pain points? So this course helps me, to have good understanding of the export environment in Nigeria, what to be looking for, what are the risks. It's an all-encompassing program. And at that point, when I finished this program, it opened a huge opportunity for me in my workplace. And I can tell you that I was able to make a high impact and providing solutions for exports, and allowed my company to grow in leaps and bounds in terms of non-oil exports in Nigeria. We are still learning, and I believe that there are more courses for me to take from Treaty Intex, and I can recommend this program to anyone and everyone. Even if you are not a banker, you're just a regular trade person, there are other opportunities coming up for trade within Africa, outside Africa, especially with the geopolitical tension. I think we have to equip ourselves with the right knowledge, right skills, so that we'll be able to, take advantage of the opportunities that not just for Nigeria, but for Africa. Thank you very much. Treaty Intex, you're the best. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to join us today. See you next week as we go to Northwest Jigawa State. That's next week, Thursday, by 5 p.m. Till then, see you. Have a wonderful weekend, and bye-bye.